Alright then, so now we've got a real-time auth listener set up and we're providing the user state to the rest of the application. Let's try accessing that user state and using it to output some data. Now we're going to do this on the dashboard in the sidebar, so let's open the dashboard layout where the sidebar template is, and inside here above the logout button I want to output the user's email address to show them their login with a particular account. To do that then we need access to the user state in this component provided by that provider, and like I mentioned in the previous lesson, we can access the state via the use auth hook that we created, and if you like you can take a look at that inside the auth context file, which is inside the context folder. So you can see the hook right here and it just returns the state values. Alright, so anyway, up near the top of the layout component I'm going to use that hook by typing const and then curly braces to destructure just the user value, and then we set that equal to use auth and invoke it, and we also need to import that from the context file. Alright, so now we have access to the current user in this component, which could be a Firebase user object if they're logged in, or null if they're currently signed out. And if the user is signed in, then we can access all the properties on that user object that Firebase provides, like their email when they last logged in, or the display name if they have one, etc. So let's come down to the template then and just try outputting the user's email. And there's actually a little comment here which I added earlier to remind me where to put the user's email, so let me just delete that first. And now I'm going to make a span tag, and inside that span tag I will say welcome, then a comma, and then I'll use curly braces to output a dynamic value in the template, and that value is going to be user and then dot email to output their email. Now when we do that you're going to notice this error right here, and that error is there because we're trying to access an email property on the user value, which could be a Firebase user or it could be null. Now if it's the Firebase user object, meaning the user is logged in, that's fine. There's an email property that we can access on that object, but if it's null, then obviously this would lead to an error because null doesn't have an email property on it. So there's a couple of ways we can get around this. The easiest way is just to add a question mark after user before we access the email property. And this means we'd only ever try to access the email property on it if the user has a value and it's not null. However, this means we're still rendering the span tag with the welcome text even when the user is null, right? So what I prefer to do is get rid of that question mark, and then I'm going to do a quick check that we have a user before we even render the span tag. The way I can do that is by adding curly brace before it and accessing the user value and then typing a double ampersand and then the span tag itself, and then I will put a closing curly brace at the very end. Now this double ampersand is the logical AND operator, and the right hand side of this expression when we use a logical AND only ever gets executed when the left side is truthy. So if the left side has a value, the user object, then the right side template gets rendered. But if the left side is null, then the template on the right won't be rendered because this code won't be executed. Okay, so now we're accessing the user state using the use auth hook, and we're conditionally rendering the email of the user in the template. So let's try this out in the browser. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh this page because oh, actually, we're not logged in, are we? If I refresh, then, yeah, we still don't see the user's email because we're not logged in. Okay, so let's go to the auth login page, spell this correctly, and let's log in as Mario at NetNinja.dev, and then test 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to log in, and then we have to manually go back to the dashboard page. We're going to fix that later. But for now, if we go back, we should have a user now, and we see that user right here. So welcome Mario at NetNinja.dev. But when we didn't have a user, when we were logged out, if I do it again, that should go because we don't have that user and therefore we don't show that little bit of template. Okay, so we've output the user email now, and we're doing that by accessing the user state from our auth context. But I also wanted to show you another way that you can access the current user by using a property directly from the Firebase SDK. So then, let me just comment out this current stuff here, and below that I'll add another span, and then inside that I will add curly braces, and as a value we will use the auth instance that we set up in the Firebase setup file, so make sure that gets imported, and then we'll just access a property on that called current user, and then on that the email property. And again, we would need to either use a question mark here after the current user or do the same kind of conditional check as we did up here. So this will do the same thing. It will output the user's email when we load the site in the browser. However, this current user value isn't any kind of reactive state. And that means if we log out, then we won't then update this value in the browser, because this just gets rendered once. It's not causing the template to re-render if the value changes. We'd have to somehow re-render the component manually so that the code runs again to get the fresh user value, right? And for that reason, I just prefer to use this global state used in the context. So let me just demo this in the browser anyway. All right, so check this out. I'm actually logged in right here, and you can see that user right here, but the user's not showing. And that's because, remember, it takes a second for Firebase to figure out if the user is logged in or not. And that first initial value of the user is null, right? When we first kind of load the application. So even though the current user property, after a split second, will be that user, it's not updating the component right here. It's not showing that user. And that's because nothing is triggering now the browser or the component to re-render rather. So we don't see that user, and we'd have to manually trigger that re-render if we want to see the user. It would be the same for logging out. If we saw the user value here and we logged out, unless any kind of reactive state in our component is triggering that re-render, then we're not going to see the template change right here. It would probably still show the current user. So this is why I prefer to use the global state. You can use this, and there are ways around this. I wanted to show you that you can use this, but I find it a little bit more fiddly. So then I'm going to delete this line that we just added, and instead I'm going to stick with the other way of accessing the user from our auth context. Also, there's a bunch of other values you can access on this user object as well, and you can see all of those by coming back to the user here in the template. Just delete the email property, and then we just type a dot after the user, and then we'll see a big list of the different things we can access. Anyway, now we know how to access the current user in a component. We're going to be using it in the next lesson as well to protect certain pages from unauthenticated users.